All right, and then finally, let's end out our Eagles draft picks, best picks by round, I should say. Go with the first round, and the first round for the Eagles in their history has been a mixed bag. We've done it before on this podcast where we talk about the worst first round picks, but in an effort to try to practice what I preach and flip it over to New Philly, we've been doing the best draft picks by round for the month of April. And the first round, like I said, as much as there was a lot of misses, the Eagles have had a lot of hits. Just from this past season team, the Super Bowl 59 champions, you had Quinyon Mitchell in 2024, Jalen Carter in 23, Nolan Smith in 23 as well, Jordan Davis in 22, Devontae Smith in 21, all Super Bowl champions on this year's team. We talked about Carson Wentz the other day going first in the first round, number 2 overall in 2016. Lane Johnson, Eagles two-time champion, Super Bowl 52 and 59, was a first-round pick in 2013. Fletcher Cox in 2012. Brandon Graham in 2010. And then go all the way back to 2002. Lito Shepherd was the first-round pick. I remember very controversial. The Eagles took 3 straight defensive backs when they had Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent, Brian Dawkins, and I think it was Al Harris was the other safety on that team. Trey Thomas back in 1998. Keith Jackson, tight end, out of Oklahoma in 1988. Everybody's favorite color commentary on the Eagles radio broadcast, Mike Quick, was also one hell of a receiver. He was drafted in the first round in 1982. A couple of Super Bowl 15 teammates, Jerry Robinson, who happened to be the last linebacker the Eagles took in the first round before this year, back in 1979, and Jerry Sizemore in 1973. Both of them played in Super Bowl 15. And then Hall of Famer Bob Brown started out with the Eagles. He was a first-round pick of the Eagles in 1964. All right, so the guys I'm going to spotlight today, I included 4 because I couldn't figure out which one of these guys to leave off the list. I've been doing 3, but hey, we'll do 4 because I think one of the rounds we did 2, so kind of will even out somewhat. And as we've been doing, I'll do it in order of which they were drafted. First, back in 1944, the Eagles selected Steve Van Buren, a running back, number 5 overall. All he did was become a 2-time NFL champion, 7-time All-Pro, led the league in rushing 4 times, rushing touchdowns 4 times. He's on the 1940s NFL All-Decade team. He's on the NFL's All 75th and 100th anniversary teams. He's on the Eagles' 75th anniversary team. He is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, a Philadelphia Sports Hall of Famer. His number 15 hangs up in the upper bowl of the link. He was the all-time NFL rushing leader upon his retirement. He's currently number 4 all-time on the Eagles' all-time rushing list. Steve Van Buren, selected number 5 in 1944. And then we go to quite possibly the greatest Eagle of all time, certainly on the Mount Rushmore, and that's Chuck Bednarik, linebacker center, drafted number 1 overall out of Penn in 1949. He also is a 2-time champion. He was on that 1949 championship team, but he was a 10-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler. He was on the 1950s NFL All-Decade team. He's on the 50th, 75th, and 100th anniversary teams all time for the NFL. Obviously, the Eagles' 75th anniversary team. He's in their Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. His number 60 also hangs up next with the retired numbers with Steve Van Buren. One hell of a player, one of the last of the two-way players, all-time NFL tough guy. We talked about the story that he retired, came back, and helped lead the Eagles to that 1960s championship. One of the greatest nicknames in Philadelphia sports of all time, Concrete Charlie, because he was a concrete salesman. But Chuck Bednarik, drafted number 1 overall in 1949 by the Eagles out of Penn. And we're going to go to 1987, and Jerome Brown, drafted number 9 overall out of Miami. two-time All-Pro, two-time Pro Bowler. He's also on the Eagles' 75th anniversary team. He's in the Eagles Hall of Fame. His number 99 hangs up in the upper bowl of the link alongside Steve Van Buren and Chuck Bednarik. Unfortunately for him, a tragic ending to his life when he died in that car crash in the 91 off season. But his career trajectory, he was on his way to being one of the all-time greats. Just a sad ending. He was just an outstanding player. Career cut way too short. Was well on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer. So Jerome Brown, number 9 overall in 1987. And then finally, one of my all-time favorite Eagles, Donovan McNabb, drafted number 2 overall out of Syracuse in 1999. 6-time Pro Bowler. He's on the Eagles' 75th anniversary team. He is an Eagles Hall of Famer, a Philadelphia Sports Hall of Famer, Eagles all-time leader in yards and touchdown passes, and for my money, still to this day, the greatest Eagles quarterback in history. Will be overtaken by Jalen Hurts, possibly within the next year or two. But for now, I would still put Donovan as number 1. Led them to 5 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl appearance. But of course, it was just a career of unfulfilled expectations as he kind of let his ego get in the way. His number 5 is also retired up there in the upper bowl. So 4 guys with their numbers retired for the Eagles, all first-round picks. You can make the argument that Donovan also belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Eagles. Steve Van Buren, you can make the argument. It's something I'm thinking about doing. Everybody else does it, so why don't I do a Mount Rushmore this summer? So stay tuned for that. But all-time Eagles first-round draft picks, Steve Van Buren, Chuck Bednarik, Jerome Brown, and Donovan McNabb. All 4 of them have their numbers retired. That's why I chose them. You could make the case for Lane. Lane will definitely have his number up there at some point. Who knows with some of the younger guys like Quinyon, Jalen, Devontae. BG probably won't get his number up there. Neither will Fletch. But some great first-round picks. And we always talk about, like I said, the misses that the Eagles have had in the first round. But they've had quite a few hits. So that concludes our best Eagles draft picks by round. Hopefully you enjoyed it.